And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and Droids, and all you little rebel troublemakers out there. You're watching Arnold Holiday News, the only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. Well, my friends, we have the next Conquest character announced and confirmed, and we're live right now streaming in front of trillions, and it's a kind of a mixed bag reaction, but I'm going to point out a couple of benefits and positives with this. But we are getting Luthen as our next Conquest unit, which is going to be starting this upcoming Monday. We should be getting the feed sometime later this week to know how difficult it's looking like. But the biggest benefit here, I do have some concerns and some hype things for myself as we're going to talk about. But a lot of you guys have Mon Mothma. It's like a staple team in the game, right? A lot of you guys have Saw Gerrera. How long have I been saying that Saw Gerrera I felt like missed the mark? Luthen is probably going to be addressing a lot of those issues here. However, my biggest concern is I just don't know if Luthen is a Conquest level character of hype. And right now we're live in front of trillions. Everyone say hi real quick. I think right now the biggest thing is this guy worthy of being a Conquest student? For sure, marquee, 100 trillion%. I was actually hoping he was going to show up when Andor came around, but they never got around to it. So I'm like, oh, are we just not going to do any Andor stuff? But we are. So I think people were kind of expecting something a little bit bigger. Like people are hoping for maybe a Balin or maybe something from Ahsoka or maybe a new ship. But that is the second thing before we get into this kit reveal. That is the second thing I think that should be noted. We are expecting a new capital ship this year. Maybe this will be the first year where they don't do any sort of capital ship. However, the thing to point out here, if we're not seeing a capital or a ship right now for Conquest, that might mean this next capital ship will not require any new Conquest ships. And that, my friend, is a big deal because that was one of the biggest things about Leviathan. You needed 2 Conquest units, Malgus and the Malgus ship. If let's say you wanted to whale because you love Leviathan and Darth Revan, there was just no opportunity for you unless you just happen to work hard in Conquest. So I'm hoping we're moving away from Conquest units being needed for capital ships. Those are the 2 things right there. And with that said, let's go ahead and get into the kit reveal. So we spent a lot of time kind of breaking it down together as a community here on live stream. And basically you're kind of getting different Luthens, which is really cool, kind of fitting to the whole lore that we saw inside of the Andor TV show where he's got 2 lives. He leads this double agent live where he's this curator. He's very suave. He's very charismatic. He's a keeper of all the fine arts and trinkets out there in the galaxy. And then you have the other side where he's kind of got the grittier side to him where he's working with Saw Gerrera. So depending on if you plug in with Saw Gerrera or not, he's going to have 2 different fundamental aspects to him. And here they're kind of also turning him into a Mon Mothma where he can't be targeted. So very similar to the vein of Mon Mothma. So here we go. We got the new Conquest Award as we already established. Acts as Curator, Expendable Asset, I'm dying over here, are all going to be new effects that we're going to have here. And as we see, is there a difference between a Mon Mothma Rebel Trooper and the Luthen Rael's Trooper? So we're going to spawn a trooper just like Mon Mothma can, but fully promoted. That's one of the biggest things about Mon Mothma. You kind of got to wait to get the commander up and running. Here you're just going to get it right away. The second a trooper comes out, instant promotion, dental benefits, paid vacation. Well, they're probably not going to be able to redeem that paid vacation because, well, they're going to die pretty easily, as the expendable asset might explain here. So let's get to it. Again, my biggest concern is this going to be a trench level character? And people don't want trench level characters inside of Conquest that take a lot of time and effort and all that fun jazz, or some people might take years if you have to wait through proving grounds. Time will tell. I'm going to try to keep an open mind and wait till we get around and actually do testing. But right now, it seems good, but how good? We got to wait and see. The damage is what I'm hoping. Maybe the damage is going to be so gnarly and it's going to make a big deal. Saw Gerrera is one character away from being a little bit more annoying on defense. This might be it. But you guys be the judge, and we'll talk at the end here. Basic ability, Omicron. And this is where, I said Trench. I get worried. There's not many characters with the basic Omicron, but you know who has one? Trench. And we all love him, right? Tools of the enemy, Omicron on the basic ability. Deal special damage to target enemy and inflict healing immunity for 2 turns, which is one of the most important debuffs in the game. I feel like it doesn't get enough credit. Stops protection regeneration, stops health regeneration. Big deal right there. And here's where we start seeing, depending on the role you put him in. If you throw him with Saw Gerrera, he becomes an Axis member. If you put him in Mon Mothma or any other team, he's a Curator at that point. If he's with Saw Gerrera during Luthen's turn, he's got a buff immunity on his base for 2 turns on the target enemy, which can't be dispelled, which is nice. So locked in. So kind of like, Cassian, he's got a buff immunity, but a little bit nicer where it can't be dispelled. Only problem is it's during his turn, so you can't call him out a turn and assist. If the rebel commander is active, we're going to see a lot of call outs to this commander. You're going to get fear on the basic, which again looks good. You know, a fear on a basic with Saw Gerrera could be quite annoying. So then again, you got to kind of have to have a vivid imagination to kind of see, all right, that fits into that. Just, you know, it's not as easy to see as like Queen Amidala, Gideon, you know, Malicos, you know, or Bane. Bane, you didn't really need much of an imagination to imagine he was going to be good. And then the Curator. Dispel buffs on target enemy. So another buff dispel on a basic. So when he's being called by Mon Mothma to assist, that's nice to have, right? During Luthen's turn, if the allied rebel commander is active, you're going to call them to assist. So basically getting a double assist or a Mon Mothma lead potential. So again, could be good stuff they have. And then while in Grand Arenas and during Luthen's turn, he's going to get 25 speed stacking up to 100 until the end of the encounter. And then the target enemy has their defense reduced by 30% until the next time Luthen uses basic ability. Oh, how are we doing, Kylo? Uses a basic ability or until he's defeated. So there's a couple things going on here. How often are you using a basic ability on your turn? Because generally you do your special abilities, and then when you have cooldowns you got to work through, then you do your basic. So on one hand, you're not going to be able to ramp up your speed that fast unless you just do basics for the first couple turns. But on the upside, the defense reduction is going to be there for a while, right? Because it's going to be a while until you get around to using your basic again. So Omicron, you know, I'm not sure how of a high priority is. It kind of seems kind of luxury-like, you know, but again, we have to really get out there, start testing them in a couple months from now to really see how important that Omicron is going to be. Kylo's looking for the spankies right now. How you doing, Kylo? You're a good man. You know that? All right. Special one. What do I sacrifice? Cooldown of 3 as well as another Omicron. You gonna go poop? Is this a poo-poo time? Is this you gonna go poo-poo? All right, well, let's go do some AHN and then we'll go outside, okay? Oh, yeah. Oh. It's funny, when you talk to an animal, you can be saying blah, 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 outside and they're like, oh, I understood that. It's funny how I love my dog. Anyways, moving on here. If the allied leader is a rebel and not a galactic legend, so they're really trying to make sure galactic legend land doesn't come up here and cop our boy Luthen away from Mon Mothma, Saw Gerrera. You're going to summon a rebel trooper and promote them, but don't worry. The unique ability, you're going to get someone out there right away. So it's not just this ability you got to wait for. It's kind of an automatic thing. So you're going to summon a rebel trooper and instantly promote them to rebel commander. Again, bypassing all the bureaucracy. Just, dude, we got to get you to commander status ASAP. If the rebel commander is already present, dispel all debuffs on them and they gain a bonus turn. How we doing, Kylo? Kylo's back here. So we get the bonus turn, which is nice. And then target rebel fighter or Mon Mothma ally gains 30% offense. And this is where this could be a big deal for Saw Gerrera. Getting a 30% offense boost to someone sounds like something you'd want to have. I'm still a little perplexed. I feel like I might be missing something with Mon Mothma. I don't know why you'd want to give offense to Mon Mothma here. Gary, can you pull up the kit for me real quick for Mon Mothma? My biggest concern of Mon Mothma is that, well, she doesn't do any damage, right? That's kind of the big problem. And then her leader ability, Alliance Chancellor, she only does the stat sharing at the start of the battle. So you can kind of see where I'm a little perplexed by why Mon Mothma's getting it. Maybe there's something I'm missing in that regard, but when doing this live reveal with everyone, wasn't quite seeing the point of that. But nonetheless, you're also going to be immune to turn meter reduction until the end of their next turn. All right, so, you know, you got bonus offense, turn meter reduction stuff that might be nice. Like, the one thing you're going to notice throughout this kit, they're trying to keep, like, the Mon Mothma turn meter engine going strong on this team. A lot of ways to make sure you just keep pumping and thumping. Anyways, when we're in the Axis, Saw Gerrera, if the rebel commander is already present, they gain 50% offense. We're going to get even more offense stacking on that rebel commander. I really want to know how much damage is this guy going to be laying down. And then the Curator bonus, if the rebel commander is already present, they recover 50% health and protection. And the target rebel ally gains Frenzy. Frenzy is nice. Frenzy is really nice. Again, you know, try to imagine, you know, putting Frenzy, I don't know, the Scout Trooper, whatever, the guy that does turn meter on the basic. Imagine you just want to keep giving him turns, you know, passing along or getting Frenzy over on Kyle Katarn potential. So Frenzy is nice to have. You know, it would have been cooler if everyone got Frenzy. That would have now that's a whole different ball game, right? Anyways, in Grand Arena though, if the rebel commander is already present, all allies gain critical damage up for 2 turns. Mon Mothma and all other rebel fighter allies gain 30% off. Again, I'm not sure why Mon Mothma gets it. I feel like I might be missing something here. And are immune to turn meter reduction until the end of their next turn. So all of a sudden, we're dialing that up a little bit. Stopping them from losing their turn meter is a big deal. You want to keep them moving forward. It's in a way baked in like tenacity for turn meter. Target rebel fighter ally ignores taunt until the end of their next turn. So it's kind of like a budget mark in a way. So you want to target someone that can work around. So I don't know. Imagine you give it to Mon Mothma, and then Mon Mothma can call a swarm attack on someone outside the taunt. So you can see where that could be beneficial, right? Special 2, a sunless space. Cooldown of 3, and we got a Zeta on this here. Mon Mothma and all Rebel Fighter allies gain speed up and bonus protection. Again, keeping you moving along. More speed means more turns, more turn meter. Trying to get that turn meter moving along here. And bonus protection for 2 turns. And then if you're a Gerrera, all Rebel Fighter allies dispel all debuffs on themselves, so a cleanse basically. For each buff dispelled, they gain 10% turn meter. For each debuff dispelled, they get 10% turn meter. So it's sort of like a Captain Rex, right? And if the allied Rebel commander is active, inflict mark on them for 2 turns. So think of like General Grievous, you're gonna sacrifice them because they're expendable, right? Which can't be copied or dispelled. And then with Mon Mothma or others, you're gonna rally Mon Mothma and all Rebel Fighter allies. So a little reminder, because I had to remind myself as well. Again, I wish in game they did a better job explaining these effects, because there's not a lot of people rally, and then there's usually only one person, but then you gotta go out of your way and like, all right, where the hell, who's got it? So for people that might not be fluent in this game, they have to kind of go around and find things. But as you can see here, with Mon Mothma, she explains what rally does, where tanks will taunt, which is great, critical immunity, attackers will assist, healers and supports restore 15% health and protection. So there you go as our little reminder. Moving on, unique number 1. And it's a big unique here. Ooh, a lot of reading here. Dreams with Ghosts, another Omicron right here. Ooh, Mon Mothma and Rebel allies gain 20 speed. So think of it, it's basically a free mod you're throwing on your team. At the start of each encounter, if the allied leader is Rebel, not a Galactic Legend, you get to summon the Rebel Trooper and promote them to Commander right away. So turn 1, boom. Someone's coming on the field. And it feels like they're trying to take a little bit of inspiration from Queen Amidala, where her decoy is, it's beautiful. The decoy is great. I don't think it's the commander's gonna be as good as the decoy, but they're trying to bring out, you know, people that could just, you know, be expendable basically, as the expendable asset would dictate here. And then while the Rebel commander is active, Luthen is immune to ability block, cooldown increase, taunt effects, and he can't be targeted. So basically turns into a Mon Mothma. Or reduced below 100% health. So again, trying to be like anti-Night Sister, so you can't get that, you know, basically Plague is useless up against them. And then here's where we get all of the other stuff here. At the start of battle, if there's a Rebel leader, no Galactic Legend allies. If Gerrera is the leader, as we've said, Luthen becomes an Axis member. Otherwise, he gains the Curator effect. So, you know, you can throw him with a raid, Commander Luke, he'll just be a Curator. So when he's with Gerrera, whenever a Rebel Trooper is summoned, which again, they're gonna be summoned at the very beginning of the battle, they gain the expendable asset effect and are inflicted with the mark for 2 turns. So basically you're starting off a Gerrera battle with a pre-taunt, right? Which isn't bad, that's not bad. And we haven't even gotten into the Omicron part here. Whenever a Rebel Trooper is defeated, all attacker allies have their cooldowns reset. So this is that like silver line and like, ooh, this could be really annoying in a Gerrera lineup. So you want these Rebel Troopers to be killed off. Everyone gets their cooldowns reset, and you know, that could get kind of deadly potentially. And then when you're a Curator, whenever a Rebel Trooper begins its turn, Luthen and Mon Mothma gains 20% turn meter. So Luthen becomes more of a support character, just kind of keeping the turn meter engine moving along, kind of greasing the wheels of the Rebel Alliance. They keep moving along here. I'm wondering who that go-to Mon Mothma would be. So you have Mon Mothma, Luthen, Kyle Katarn, Scout Trooper, you know, maybe something like that. And then, you know, third slot, you know, maybe Cara Dune comes back in the swing. You know, you can see there's some flexibility. There has been a need for a new member to kind of make Mon Mothma a little bit more relevant. And then here's your new expendable asset effect that he's going to give over to the new commander that he's got. Can't stealth and can always be targeted by enemies. So that means you can't ignore him. You're going to be able to hit him if you want him. And here's where the big thing comes in. He's going to lose 70% of his max health, which makes him weaker, easier to kill, which duh. We've already said that, you know, when he's killed off, he's going to reset cooldowns. And on top of that, he's going to get 70% off it. So really curious to see what the damage on this commander, you know, might look like. Then whenever a Rebel Trooper uses his basic ability, inflict defense down to target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. And then whenever a Rebel Trooper uses his special ability, they're inflicted with mark. So again, keeping that mark on him, keeping him at taunting as long as possible, which can't be copied or dispelled. And they gain retribution for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled. And then finally, the Omicron. After all that, which is, it's nice to see you get a majority of the kit without the Omicron, right? If there are no other Galactic Legend allies to start the battle, Mon Mothma Rebel Fighter allies gain 30% max health, mastery, and 20 speed. And they gain 50% bonus protection for 1 turn, which again, based off of max health. And the first time the Rebel Commander is defeated in each battle, you're gonna summon a Rebel Trooper and then promote them to a Rebel Commander status. So what I need to see, the way it reads, it sounds like you're only gonna get 1 more Rebel Commander, but what I'm wondering, is this more like a Night Sister zombie where you kill it, a new one comes, and this clause basically restarts again? and then you kill that one, and then the claws basically restarts because each one's a summon. They're a brand new member on the field, right? So I'm not 100% sure. I'm leaning more towards the conservative thing where it's only going to be, this only works once and the subsequent ones don't get it. But, you know, just putting it out there. There could be ways where this is interesting. Overall, though, oh yeah, this is just a Rebel Trooper. This is nothing new. This is all baked into what Mon Mothma already has. So nothing too new that you guys got to worry about here. That's going to add anything else here. So overall, again, I think the biggest things are, number one, you guys have Mon Mothma. You guys have Gerrera. I'm actually excited for my free-to-play account because Mon Mothma is a team I feel like is just hanging around my roster. I'm not really using her, even on my free-to-play account. If I can get Luthen and turn Mon Mothma into something maybe a lot better, that's kind of a big deal. You guys have the teams. Don't you want to take more advantage of the teams rather than gearing up brand new teams and all the Kyrotechs and all the Omicrons and Zetas? I think that's the biggest upside to all this here. The biggest question is, will this shut down Wampa, right? Mon Mothma, the reason why she kind of went extinct on defense was because of the addition of Wampa at the end of the day. So we'll have to wait and see. And then again, remember, you know, I know some people are hoping for, you know, maybe get that clear indication what the next ship is going to be, capital ship that is. But the way I'm looking at it, the fact that we're not seeing one, if there is a capital ship going to be announced, which again, there are some chase bundles, things in the data mine that we talked about. It seems like ships are coming. I'm a fan. If no proving grounds, conquest units are going to be needed for that. But anyways, who cares? In my opinion, I might be the God's, you know, gift of all the game of the 8th day of creation, all those many of their fancy titles. But I'm going to pass the ball over to you guys. What do you guys think? Are you guys hyped for Luthen? Again, I was hoping for Luthen. I was just thinking he was more of a marquee character, like Trench. I don't know if Trench is a conquest character. I think he should have been more of a marquee in it, but nonetheless, happy to see Luthen. This might open up a pathway to maybe another rebel ship down the road that Luthen can take advantage of, having the lightsaber, whatever the heck that was. I don't know. It was cool. Listen, I think lightsabers on a ship, pretty darn cool. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for stopping by. Love you guys. It's going to be a couple months of grinding and conquest. Let's see if the journey is going to be worth the wait. But I guess we're going to have to wait a couple months. So feel free to hop into a back the tank, take a couple naps, read about Tuskens, and we'll catch you then. But until then, always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire.